Okay. Now in Python, if you want to write a for loop, so if you run this, the result is, if you look at this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are nine iterations, right? 9 results. So does everyone understand this? Now to write this in pseudocode is also easy to write this in pseudocode. To write this in pseudocode, instead of for num in range, then you write for, first thing is to declare num, isn't it? So you have to declare num as an what? Integer. Okay. Then for the for loop, then you write for num is equal to, where is the starting point, guys? Where is the end point? Is it 9 or 8? 8. So that will be from num equals to 0 to 8. Is that understood? For num equals to 0 to 8. So what will be executed? That will be num is equal to num multiplied by 2, isn't it? Then what is the next thing? Print num. Then we write output num. Then what is the next thing? Next num. So this next num is that keyword that takes it to the next value. Okay. So if you look at this, the difference between this and Python is, in Python we don't have to declare, right? In pseudocode we have to declare. In Python, to get the range of numbers, you must use the range function, right? But in pseudocode, you don't need to use the range function, only to the starting point to the end point, and inclusive of endpoints. Is this understood? Then in Python, the next step is iterated by itself, but in pseudocode you must write what? The next step. Is this understood? So this is how for loops work in pseudocode. Now the other one is, what if you want to write it in steps? What do I mean by step? This will go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to what? Up to 8, isn't it? Likewise, it's 0 to 8. But what if you want to go in step? Maybe in step of 2, step of 4, step of 6, and so on. How do you write that in Python? Okay. In Python, if you want to write this in step, then you write comma again 2. Okay, comma 2 again, or comma 3. It depends on how many steps you want to go to. What does this mean? This means it starts at 0, then multiply 0 by 2 and print 0. The next step will be what? Will be 2, not 1. Is that understood? Then it multiplies 2 by 2, which is 4. The next step is what? Is 4, isn't it? It goes in step of 2. Is that understood? So if I print this now, if I run this program, then you can see 048. So that is, it goes in step of 2. You can also make it to go in step of 3 as well. So when it starts from 0, the next number will be what? 3. The next number will be what? 6. The next number is what? It won't get to 9, isn't it? It stops at that. So this is how this works in Python. Is this understood? So how do you write for the step in pseudocode? How do you write for the step in pseudocode? Now in pseudocode, you also declare what? You also declare the, so it's just the same code, but the difference is, instead of writing 0 to 8, I have it as step, maybe 2. Is this understood? So this is the only thing you will add. So just writing for num equals to 0 to 8, step 2. That means you go in what? In step of 2. If you want to go in step of 3, you write what? Step 3, and so on. Is this understood? These numbers, these values must be integers. They must be integers. These values must what? Must be integers. Don't forget that, in case you want to use variables there. For the post condition loop means it is the condition comes after it is executed. Is that understood? The condition comes after it is executed, and this loop is the repeat until loop. The repeat until loop. How does this work? You write the keyword repeats. You write the keyword repeats. Repeats. Then the codes you want to execute. Then you write until condition. So what happens? This code will be executed first. Is this understood? It will be executed. After executing this code, it checks this condition. If this condition is false, then it repeats again. I repeat, it executes this condition. It executes this code. If this condition is false, it starts again to re-execute. Checks the condition. If it is false, start again to re-execute. It only stops executing when this condition is true. Is this understood? So that means this code is executed at least once. At least once. It first executes before checking the condition. Is this understood? Good. Example, declare word string. Okay, declare word string. Then the next thing is, let me say word is empty. Let me initialize it and write repeats. Repeats. Input word until word is equal to admin. Until word is equal to admin. Don't forget I said until true means this condition must return a boolean. Is that understood? Whether it's true or false. So this is a complete code that illustrates the post condition loop. What would this do? Repeat what is declared as a string, isn't it? Then word is empty. Repeat input word. What would this code do? It's waiting for an input from the user, right? And when the user inputs anything, it is saved in what? In the variable word. Okay. Good. Now, if the input word is admin, it stops executing. If it is not admin, it goes back again. Is this understood? Until the input word is admin, then it stops executing. So when it stops executing, then you can write at the end of this code, after this code, and write output. Welcome, admin. Is this understood? So that means welcome admin will never be written if the word is not admin. Is this understood, everyone? So welcome admin will only be executed if the input word is admin. So admin in capital letter is different from admin in what? Is small letter. If we don't want it to be case sensitive, that means you must convert this word to what? To lower, isn't it? So that means you have to write word is equal to what? Word to lower, isn't it? Then you compare it what? With small admin in small caps. Is that understood? Okay, good. Yeah. So you can also have it this way, that after writing input word, then you write word is equal to lower, then word. Is this understood? Then you must compare the word to what? Small admin in small caps, isn't it? So simple. Is this understood, everyone? Then with this, the inputs will not be case sensitive. It can accept any case. Is this understood? Any other question? Then precondition loop. Precondition loop, which is the what? Which is the while loop. While loop. So this condition is this statement is only executed if the condition is true. If it is not true, it is not executed. Is this understood? We can also write something similar in Python. Then we write while num. Okay, before I write while num, let me ask var or num is equal to input. Please enter a number. Okay, then I write num is equal to integer num because I want to deal with what? With a number, isn't it? If I'm dealing with a string, do I need to do that? No. Okay. If num is less than 5. What does that mean? If the user inputs, no, not let me use if. Let me write y. Okay, y num is less than 5. That means in as much that the user has input any number that is what? That is less than 5. Is this understood? While it is less than 5, then I write num is equal to num plus 1. Then print num. Then I write print the end. Is this understood? So the first thing is it asks the user for an input, right? The user gave an input and it is saved in num. The input is what? Is a string, isn't it? Then this is converted to what? To an integer. After this is converted to integer, it checks if it is less than 5. If it is less than 5, it enters this loop and continues to what? To add 1 to it, isn't it? So if the number is less than 5, it adds 1. When it adds 1, it prints the number and go back and recheck. If the number is still less than 5, it adds 1, print the number, go back and recheck until the number is now what? Is now 5, isn't it? When the number is 5, what does it do? It prints the end. If the user enters an input and the input is what? And the input is not less than 5, what happens? It skips to the end. Is this understood? We need a num, right, to receive the input. Then we declare that as what? As integer. Then we write declare num integer. Isn't it? Then what is the next thing? We receive the input, right? No, output first, right? Then output. Please enter the number. Then you receive the number into num, right? Then you write input num. Are you all following me? Then what is the next thing? While num is less than 5. Then you write while num is less than 5. Okay? Now what is the next thing? Num is equal to num plus 1. Then you write num is equal to num plus 1, right? After this, what is the next thing? You output num. Output num. Then what's that? Then after that, you end the while loop. So don't forget here, you have to end while. Is this understood? So you end while in pseudocode. Then after ending while, then you output what? The end. Output the end. Is this understood, everyone? It's as simple as this.